I'm grateful to the hundreds of district employees who work to operate storm shelters for 4 days, from Wednesday through Saturday, with the last shelter closing last evening. We are proud to serve the community in this time of need. Our maintenance staff, food service workers, bus drivers, clerical staff, administrators, and more worked around the clock for 4 days to operate shelters to serve our community. On Friday, we began conducting damage assessments of school buildings to determine the ability to reopen schools. On Friday, we had over 40 schools without power and several with minor damages. As of this morning, I'm happy to report we're down to 8 schools without power, and we believe that all of that power will be restored before the end of tonight, with the exception of the 2 schools mentioned. There are, of course, nearly 80,000 Pinellas County residents without power as well, many of which are here on the beaches. 2 of our schools suffered severe damage caused from water from the storm surge: Gulf Beaches Elementary School and Madeira Beach Fundamental K-8. Both schools will take months to repair, particularly their electrical systems that were swamped with Gulf water. We have already begun the restoration process, and we will work tirelessly to complete these as soon as possible. When storms affect the area, everyone always asks, when will our schools reopen? This is because schools bring a sense of normalcy to the community. They allow businesses to reopen and parents to return to work. Because of the work of our maintenance team and Duke Energy, all but 3 Pinellas County schools will reopen on Monday. I want to sincerely thank our maintenance team and Duke Energy for working around the clock to make this happen. Gulf Beaches Elementary School and Madeira Beach Fundamental K-8 will be closed Monday and Tuesday in order to prepare for new temporary homes for students and staff. Gulf Beaches Elementary School will move to Diston Academy in Gulfport. Diston Academy has a small enrollment on its campus of about 70 full-time students and will move to Lehman Innovation Academy. The 2 schools have similar themes, and they'll be able to coexist for the foreseeable future. Because Gulf Beaches has approximately 300 students, the school will utilize the entire Diston campus and will be able to reunify and begin with minimal disruption. For Madeira Beach, the challenge is different. There are 1,400 students on this K-8 campus, and moving them to one site is just simply not possible. The school will temporarily operate on 2 separate campuses that are nearby one another, as many families have students in multiple grades at these schools. Madeira Beach Elementary students will attend Walsingham Elementary School and attend from 11:40 a.m. to 4:40 p.m. on a modified double session. Madeira Beach Middle School students will attend Osceola Fundamental High School from 12:10 to 5:10, again on a modified double session. This will necessitate Osceola Fundamental High School schedule be moved up 1 hour, with high school students attending from 6:25 to 12:05. Many of the Osceola Fundamental students, in fact more than half, attended this very middle school and will be pitching in with their families to support their younger siblings and friends from their sister school. Before school care for Madeira Beach students is being arranged and will be in place by Wednesday when students return, so that any family who needs to drop their child off at the normal school start time at 8 a.m. will be able to do so, and will provide transportation to their new sites in the middle of the day. Additionally, on Monday and Tuesday, the district will have child care for families whose students attend Gulf Beaches and Madeira Beach Fundamental from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., and that will be located at Tyrone Middle School. Families do not have to register in advance, but must check in their child upon going to the school. Obviously, these changes are not ideal for anyone. However, they will keep their friends and teachers and the respective schools together until those schools are repaired. I heard from many parents over the weekend who offered their support, and the parents, particularly at these 2 schools, just simply asked, can you keep our children with their friends and their teachers? And we've been able to do that. We'll be holding staff meetings tomorrow with the affected schools and parent meetings tomorrow night to answer questions, to offer support, and to finalize the last-minute details. And we will work individually with families or employees that simply cannot work with the new school times and locations to find temporary alternative sites that meet their needs for their children. We'll also support, as we go back to school on Monday, for days, weeks, and months, the mental health of our staff and our families and all of the resources that they need. That includes transportation. Our transportation call center is open today. And today our transportation is calling over 80 families who live on the beaches here individually who used our bus transportation to find where they are, if they need transportation tomorrow, if they've relocated, and how we can support them. This is, of course, an emergency situation, but it's also a temporary situation and will not last forever. I continue to be amazed and humbled at how supportive the staff and the leadership at the affected schools have been. I want to commend Mr. Atik and Mr. Kalak for their leadership, their calm, and their sense of bringing their communities together. Our county and our school district proves time and time again that we as a community come together to support one another. We know that this plan will inconvenience some, but relocating these schools and nearly 2,000 students, of course, is a great impact on these students, their families, and our staffs, but we will get through this together. I want to sincerely thank our community, our parents, our families, our students, the staff, the first responders, our partners at the County Emergency Management Situation, Barry Burton and Kathy Perkins in particular, and our Sheriff Gaultieri for their support for the community and our school district in this time of need. You can find more information on our website specifically for each school, and at this time I'll entertain any questions for myself or the folks behind me. Out of respect and their families' wishes, I cannot. Yeah, there are dozens and dozens and dozens, maybe over 100 school board employees who have lost their homes, either temporarily or permanently. They're all recovering like everyone else in this community, minute by minute. We've offered assistance both through the school district, the FEMA connections, our emergency management connections, and we're working with them obviously on employment situations in the coming weeks. Every situation is different. For some of our employees we've talked to, this is the third time in a year that their homes have flooded on Shore Acres. And so they have contingency plans. Some are staying with friends, with family. And like we've seen in previous ones, some will move and not come back. That includes families. And so we'll work individually with each one.
Will there be any teacher shortages because of the impact?
We don't anticipate teacher shortages or employee shortages. We have plans in place to make those coverages. This weekend, we've already reached out. We have over 1,000 substitute teachers that serve in our schools throughout the year. We've asked as many of those as possible to be available in the next couple days to assist, but we believe we'll have everything covered.
You mentioned those parent meetings. Where are they going to be held? Are they online or how people can participate?
Yeah, so the two big parent meetings, the one for Gulf Beaches is at 5 p.m. It'll be at Boca Ciega High School in the auditorium. That information's on our website. And then the Madeira Beach K-8 meeting will be at Osceola Fundamental High School. That one is at 6:30 p.m. Both are on Monday. They're not streamed. They're just live in person. Parents, we want to answer their questions, let them build a sense of community, but really all the information that they need is already online.
Was there any damage to any of the bus routes, and if so, how is that impacting bus routes?
Yeah, so as you can imagine, the Gulf Boulevard is very difficult. Our buses can get out there, and in fact, we were out there Friday night and Saturday transporting residents back to the mainland. So it's possible. The problem is the traffic is so slow. So we're going to work individually with families. We have a lot of arterial stops on this side. Anyone who attends a magnet school already comes to this side of the bridge for an arterial stop. It's only zone students, so those at Seminole High School, Seminole Middle, Largo High, Clearwater High. So we're calling those families now, finding out, are you still on the island? Is there a best spot to pick you up? How can we do that? And it'll just be individual. Our buses can get out there, but to get out there and turn around and come back would take hours. Some of the bus stops are, particularly on the beaches, but also Tarpon Springs, Oldsmar. There's different areas, St. Petersburg, Shore Acres, that have damages. So some of those are being assessed today by our transportation staff and may need to be rerouted.
Have you ever had any issues at these schools before that were damaged?
Over the last couple of years with the storms we've had, we've seen water come onto both of these sites. They've lost power before. We have cameras, and so you literally watch the water come in. The dock has been hurt here before at Gulf Beaches. We've seen the water go underneath the former portables, but it never got into the classrooms in the last couple decades. So this is unprecedented, and I think the biggest piece is, we've had classrooms flood before. We had Bowder Elementary School last year. Water main broke and flooded the whole school. That's really easy to fix. It's the electrical systems that have been inundated with seawater. The electrical system here is actually about 20 feet from the intercoastal. That's where Duke's substation is. That's where our electrical room is. And so those are just going to take a long time to repair.
Is there any other like major damage besides the electrical and just cleaning up the sludge or whatever?
Well, in both schools, the water came in different classrooms, but 3 to 4 feet high. So you're talking all of the carpet, all of the instructional materials. In elementary classrooms, those that have been in them, everything's on the floor. So your books, bean bags, the chairs are lowered to all of those things. All of that will be replaced. But really, that part's easy. Stabilizing the environment, the air quality, those things, and then you just work to replace those things.